Hi everyone, it's Matea here with Elegant Embellishments. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. I'm coming to you today to share with you a project that I've done, and when I started creating this, I knew that I had to use all of these gorgeous products, so I thought, you know what, this will be my design team project. So let me just get started. I'm going to show you first the trims that I have used and just embellishments from D. So first of all, there's this. This is the last piece of this one I have left. It's a white Venice trim. And this she no longer has at the moment, but I've used it in white, mint, and pink, and the white I've used up. It's very soft trim. This I bought from her a while back, and I hope she'll be getting more of it because I definitely did not buy enough from her, and I just love it. It's kind of a seafoam minty color, I would say. This is an all-time favorite, and it's just so gorgeous. This bridal embroidered trim with the hearts, super pretty D. And then this one I like cutting apart, so in this mini I've cut it apart and used this bottom edge. But these are fun to, oh, and I've also cut the top part out and used that as well. So really pretty. This is another one of my favorites. She's got it in a white and black also, I believe. So that's really pretty. I think that's the last bit of that I have left. Oh no, that's sad. This ruffled pleated satin trim. And then this came as a wide panel, and we got this in our event package, and it came with several, like, you know, strips connected like that, and I love to cut it apart and use it for bows. So it's really pretty. I love it. And I like the, when you cut it apart, the tool edge stays on there, so when you tie a bow, it's just such a luscious, cute bow. And she had also sent me this wide white lace, and I like to cut strips of this off as well, and I'll show you how I did that. And then last, well, I have two more left for the trims anyway, but this one is so gorgeous just to line a page with for a pocket, or this would be really gorgeous on altered projects like around jars, or also for like layouts and things like that. So then she also had sent us some of this rhinestone trim, and she has a thinner rhinestone trim, but this is the trim that she sent us in our package, and I still have some of that left, and I love it. Okay, and I've also used tons of these little pearl hearts and pearl centers. This gorgeous, we call these Roxy berries, and they're really pretty for flower centers. And this I bought from her. I bought several of these from her a while back, and it's a Parisian button. She had these, also had this handles set, and they come in, you know, like either one of those, but I used this, and I like to like glue pearls over these holes, or you can use brads to attach it to a mini, make like a drawer pull, whatever you like to use that kind of thing for, but I'll show you where I've used that. And then I used several of her filigrees. She carries metal filigrees. I've used a penny farthing charm. So I believe I used these three anyway. So I used this one. I like to cut these in half and just stick them behind like flowers and things. Used one of those. And then I used a penny farthing. So again, I'm still using a lot of things she sent me for the event because she was like extremely generous, and I had a ton of fun working with all of her products. So let me just move this out of the way and we'll show you my project. And just for show, I'm going to tie it back up here just to show you, and then I'll open it. Okay. So here it is. Yes, a Gorjuss mini. I had to make one. I used the like stack the deck method. That's the cover. So first I'm going to show you the edge. So on the edge here, let's see if I could go up a little bit. On the edge here I've used that pleated trim and that gorgeous pink ruffled trim, and then that was that panel lace that I cut apart, and I made bows with that. So I did 3 bows, and then there is where I used her drawer pull, and I just stuck little gems there. And then this is one of my bottle cap charms. Love it, so luscious. And I love this paper collection. It is so gorgeous. So here's the cover. I just colored up one of my Gorjuss girls and paper pieced her dress and stamped that and cut it out. These are just some resin corners from my stash. And then there you can see I use that gorgeous seafoam minty colored trim. This was that very wide lace, and I just cut a strip of that and tied a bow behind there. I stuck down a wooden piece from my stash and some little blings and gorgeous pink and mint colored flowers, and then that is from this stamp as well. So there's the cover, and then I just have it bound with this pretty aqua lace. So it just opens up. On the first page I've just got a die cut here and another die cut from the collection and just a little bow for my stash. Here's the first page. Isn't she so cute? So paper pieced her dress. Here is a Venice trim that I cut apart from D, and then I just stuck it behind there. That I used the last bits of. And I love how everything that sticks out from the other pages just kind of coordinates all together. Just a rosette for my stash and a doily, and there's one of her gorgeous pearl centers. This is a spray that I just got from a friend in a rack. Here is that gorgeous trim that I cut the scalloped edge off of, and this is another one of my favorites that she has, and I've used all of that in this album as well. This 2-layer trim. So, you know, a picture can fit in here and behind here. I was almost thinking the person I send this to can put like Instagram photos in it because it's perfect for that size. Here's the other page. I used some of that GIMP trim left over from my package that Dee sent to us for the event, and here's that soft like chiffon-y trim. This is really interesting. I cut in half one of her, that pink pleated trim, and I used both pieces and made a bow, and you can see because it was pleated, it's like crinkly, and I just love it. So I did a bow and put one of her pearl centers in, and then I created like leaves kind of coming out behind the flower cluster with that heart lace. Just a die cut and 2 flowers from my stash, and then a little doily peeking out with a bow. This one I used her rhinestone trim and more of that gorgeous mint colored lace. This is another trim she has, and I just made a rosette. So I used the last bit of that, colored up my little Gorjuss girl, and did some wooden butterflies for my stash. Here I kept this page pretty neutral, put some doilies for my stash. Here's her penny farthing and metal flower piece that I just stuck a bling in. Here, another colored up girl. Here's where you can see I cut that trim in half and I stuck it on the edge. This trim I used up from my stash that I bought from Dee as well. I love that trim, it's so cute. And then I've got a metal piece for my stash with a bow on top. Love it. Love this paper. And just a little bit of that pleated trim from D. More bows I cut out of that lace with some blings. A flower from my stash and another bit of that Venice trim to make leaves coming out behind it. And then this is a resin piece that I got from a friend, and I just punched out a butterfly and put a pearl in the center of that. So again, like maybe some room for 2 little Instagram photos or something like that. I love this one. I just got this stamp. Colored her up. Here is a heart rosette from D and one of those Parisian buttons that I just tied some crochet thread through. I put that gorgeous Venice trim and then that really nice pleated mesh bling trim there. On this page, I kept it pretty simple. I just put a rosette from my stash with 2 little flowers. More of those wooden butterflies, and this trim that I cut apart and did a bow again. And I love that center. I'm in love with those. Here, you can see I used several of her hearts and her, it's kind of hard to see here, but that ruffled trim and then more of that gathered ruffled trim. And a die cut from the collection. This page is kind of cute. I did a banner cut from the paper and I just put some crochet thread through it and left the tassel parts hanging. This is the edge of that bridal trim that I cut apart. As you can see there, I just made a flower with her pleated trim and stuck a little rock sea berry in the middle. That was the last, I think, of my tiny little ones. I love the little ones. And then just some bling for my stash. Love it. The colors are so shabby. Another gorgeous girl that I paper pieced and colored. Wooden butterflies for my stash. This is the same stash that I did for the closure. Stash that I did for the closure. Lace, excuse me. And a heart rosette from D. I just stuck a doily from my stash and a large pearl that I recently got. And let's see. This page again, more neutrals. Just a gardenia for my stash. This is a resin piece from D. And just some roses from my stash, some cute doilies, and more of those wooden butterflies. This is another lace from D that I used my tiny little scrap piece of and made a bow. And again, my friend can put a nice picture right here. So here I've used some more of her Gorjuss trim on top. I love that. It's just like a banner. Her Venice trim and gathered baby butt trim there. This is a gorgeous flower that I got from a friend in a rack. Put a doily behind her with some wooden butterflies, and she's supposed to be planting seeds, but I just have her holding the pail. That was like one of the first stamps I ever got for Gorjuss Girls. And that page just with, you know, things for my stash, a die cut and a doily there and some bling. I just layered 2 little pieces of lace that were for my stash there. And then on the back cover, I tied a little bow from a scrap that I had from that wide lace and put one of her pearl hearts. And with this die cut, I just did 2 bows for my stash, and I cut that metal filigree in half from D and stuck it like that. And that is the back. And I love how chunky it is, and I thought it came together really cute. I can't wait to give this to the person that it's going to. She will love it. I know she will. And so that is my mini. Let me know what you guys think. I love it. It took me forever. I was Skyping with Irene, coloring all the images one night, and I'm really happy with how it came out anyway. So, sorry, let me know what you think, and please leave any comments below. I would love your feedback, and you all have a happy Mother's Day. Bye.